So here we are behind the kit. Inside the kick drum, I've got a coated head so you can't see it. It's that Bayer Dynamic boundary mic. On the snare, it's the Bayer Dynamic 201. The Shure KSM 109 on the hi-hat. And on the bottom of the snare, we've got that SM57. On the toms, the Sennheiser 421s. And I've got the tape on them. I usually do that with a lot of my mics that I use on toms, just so I know if something goes wrong with something, I know exactly which mic it was. So because they all look alike, so I just kind of differentiate them with some colored tape. The overheads, the KSM 32s are up there, and then this I've been using the Sennheiser. It's like the 609, I think is what it is, but it's the super cardioid version of that. And that's my junk mic. And that sits right there. That's the mic that gets compressed a lot and just brings out a lot of the ringiness in the drums. I am at church, so if you hear some organ playing in the background, that's our organist that is practicing this morning. So, and over here I've got my little laptop, which I screen share to do my recording, and I'll do different takes and stuff like that, and I can do it remotely right here without having to go over to my iMac and the Porter & Davies seat shaker. And here we are in the front. That's the Yamaha Sub Kick that sits, let's see, it's about an inch off the front head. And way up here at the back of the room, facing the wall, is a Audio-Technica 3033. It's an older mic, and that's my mono room mic. And everything is going into these True Systems preamps. They're really basic. There's just basically phantom power in a phase and gain on each channel, but they're really clean and do a great job. And then there's the Motu 16A. So what you're hearing is going straight into these preamps and straight into the interface with no plugins. Well, hey guys, I am at church in my office/studio, and this morning I recorded some drums for a song called Set Afire, and a lot of you guys on YouTube have been commenting that you like the way the drums sound, so I thought I'd just do a quick video here. These are going to be the raw drum tracks going straight from the mics into my True System preamps, into my Market Unicorn 16A interface, and I've got no plugins, nothing on the master bus. I have a couple tracks that are loops, percussion loops that I'm playing with. They've got a couple plugins on them, but I'm going to mute those. So basically, we're just going to hear raw drums, and then I'll play a little bit of the kit together, and then we'll solo the mics, and you can hear those. And then I'll do another video of where I show you some of the plugins and editing that I do on the tracks. So here we go. It's got a bit of a long intro on it. I'll leave the click in for a little bit, and then I'll pull it out because it is kind of annoying. But you can hear what I'm playing along with. And I didn't have any of the other arrangement, just the click. So as you can see on my my takes, I've got it led to this final edit, and that's I'm getting ready. So when I get in there to start cutting out some of the waveforms and stuff, that I've still got the raw tracks on another take, so I can always go back to them. But let's solo some of these instruments. So this is the internal kick mic, which is a Bayer Dynamic. I can't think of the name of it, but just their flat boundary. I used to use the Shure Beta 91A, and I switched over to this Bayer Dynamic, and I love it so much better. It's got a lot more beefier sound than the 91 does. But I'll EQ this and stuff. Now this is the Sub Kick. This sits outside the bass drum. It's just basically the big speaker. Just grabs the low frequency information. So that, along with the internal mic, you get a good balance of tone. This is the raw snare track. On the top, I've got a Bayer Dynamic 201 dynamic mic. This is the bottom snare mic. It is a SM57. Well, I do the hi-hat, but I'm not doing anything with it right now. It's past the hi-hat section. But here's the overheads. These are the KSM 32s. Now that was the junk mic, and that's just the mic it sits right on top of the over the bass drum, kind of focused at the snare, and then I'll just compress that, and that brings all the ringiness of the drums out in the final edit. The room mic, I just had a mono room mic, but now that we're at the end of the song, you're not going to be able to hear much on that, although to get this last and then I do have a spot mic that's on the ride, which I don't use very often, but if it needs it, I can pull that up in the mix. I'm just kind of experimenting with that. It's not something that I've found a good mic placement or anything on that. So anyway, that's the raw stuff, and then I'll do another video here where I go in and I show you kind of the plugins and stuff that I put on the tracks and how I edit it and how do I try to go for a really kind of tight, punchy sound. So anyway. Thanks for watching.